Mark Mosby is down there for the Lions. Curtis Johnson is also down there for the Lions as the captain. Here comes the coin toss. Heath has won the toss of the coin, elected to defer to the second half, their choice. And so the Lions will get to choose what they want to do here to start the football game. Heath will have the wind at their back. The Lions, now the official, one of the side judges coming out and having a discussion. Now they're going to switch around. I think perhaps the message did not get out. I don't know what they're doing, Earl.
They're just having a nice conversation.
Well, the referee looks like he's, maybe I didn't do the whole procedure right, because one of the captains for Heath is looking back over to the sideline now, and the Heath coaches come out on the field and go, what? So now they're trading positions. Greenville will be defending the north goal to start the football game and have the wind at their back. Heath will be receiving the opening kickoff and going into the wind.
That must mean Greenville decided to take the wind.
Yeah, because they got the choice after Heath won the toss of the coin and elected to defer to the second half.
So I guess they're playing the field position game.
It must be. So we'll wait and see how this turns out, because that's why you play the game. Heard somebody say that one time. Greenville Lions and the Hawks of Heath ready to tee it off, and this ought to be a good one. We're at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Rich Renault along with Earl Wilson, statistician extraordinaire. And we'll be back with Greenville Lions football in 2 minutes. Welcome back to T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium, where the Greenville Lions are preparing to kick it off to the Hawks of Heath. The Lions will be kicking with the wind at their back. It's blowing out of the north at about 18 miles per hour. Now, in the north end zone, the wind really does some pretty strange things. And so it's going to be interesting to see what the ball does once it gets up into the air, because about the first 10, 15, maybe 20, perhaps as far out as a 25-yard line, the wind is not a huge factor, but it has a swirling effect. And if they get it up into the air and get any distance underneath it whatsoever, it's just going to take off. So the Lions have got it teed up.
Number 16 is kicking off.
And I think this is somebody they brought up from JV, and he's not on our roster. Gets a really nice toe into it. Bounces at the 6, taken at the 3-yard line on the far side, moving right to left down the far sideline out to the 30. And then out of bounds at about the 33-yard line on the return for the Hawks.
I think it was number 28 on the return.
So here come the Heath Hawks, their first time at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium in a varsity football game. Ball game just getting underway. Hawks are moving from our right to left. No score in the game. The temperature continues to drop with a strong wind out of the north. And with an I formation, double tight end, pitch goes to the right side. And about a 1-yard gain by the tailback, Kendall Lawrence. And that is about all they gave him, is a yard. They have everybody up tight when they run this I formation, does the Hawks of Heath. And that time they went with a double tight end formation, had one receiver out, and Kendall was the only guy in the backfield. Kendall Lawrence, 2nd and 9. He is at the tailback. Twins to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Quarterback decided to keep it and went down at about the 35-yard line, a gain of maybe half a yard on the play.
Yeah, number 36 for Greenville, Jermaine Hamilton, was right there staring at the quarterback. He had no choice but to turn it inside and get tackled.
Colin Lipscomb is checking out of the lineup for Heath. Now they come with a power I formation. Ryan Lambert is at quarterback on the 3rd and long play from their own 35. Pitch comes to the near side, to the 35. Stiff arm takes him out to the 39, and a penalty marker flies. Curtis Johnson in on the tackle, along with Jermaine Hamilton, I think, was in there. And that was Lawrence on the carry, and he's a sophomore, It's a very young football team. We'll see what the flag is about. Referee says it's personal foul. Face mask charged against the Hawks. And see what Coach Cordell is going to decide for his team to do. It's 3rd and long. Personal foul. Face mask is declined, so it'll bring up 4th down.
All right, that means Heath Hawks are going to get out there and punt the ball. Hopefully it won't go too far into that wind. And, Greenville has had a couple good returns this season.
Well, if they can kick it up high, maybe it'll fly back into the end zone and they can recover it there. They're not going very deep with it. Oscar Lloyd is back at about the Greenville 34 on the far side. Curtis Johnson is to the near side. The punter for the Hawks is back at the 26, gets a high snap, pulls it down, and it is a high kick that's like way short. Bounces at the 46, takes a Greenville roll to the 39,
almost,
and a Hawk is there waiting to pull it down.
And it almost hit the Greenville player in the back. He had no idea it was that short.
The wind really held that one up. So the Lions have got excellent field position at the Heath 39-yard line.
That was a 0-yard punt.
Here come the Lions now with 2 receivers to the near side. Casey Ludford working in quarterback. Lloyd is standing to the near side. Lions are moving left to right. No score in the game. Penalty markers fly before the snap of the ball. Let's see what this is. Referee says dead ball foul, false start against the Lions. So that backs it up to the Hawks 44-yard line on the far hash mark. Greenville moving left to right, no score in the game, 10:06 to play first quarter. Twins to either side. Casey Ledford in the shotgun at the 50. Hands it off to Lloyd. He goes left, heads to the 40-yard line, and does not quite get to the original line of scrimmage. About a 4-yard gain on the play. And that was Eric Johnson on the carry. My apologies. Wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Thank you. 2nd and 11 for the Lions from the 40-yard line of Rockwall Heath. The ball on the far hash mark. Twins to either side. To both sides, actually. Casey Ledford hands it off. Johnson coming to the near side at the 30. And finally backpedaling across the 25 and then driving down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Greenville Lions. .9:24 to play here in the first quarter. No score in the game. Lions first down at the 23-yard line is where they mark it of Rockwall Heath. Trips to the far side, 1 receiver to the near side. Eric Johnson standing to the left of Casey Ludford in the shotgun. Ludford drops the ball, picks it up, now runs left, turns at the 20, down to the 15 on the far side at the 10. 5, stretches forward, touchdown Greenville.
What an effort by Casey Ludford. And he didn't, for a minute there, thought he was going to take it down the sideline, and I think the Rockwall Heath guy was expecting to just run him out, and he turned it back in.
Now, Casey just had it in his mind that he was going to the end zone. His jersey was stretched out about as far as it can go. The Lions line up in that swinging gate, looking to the sideline. Now Ludford comes off of the field. And the JV punter, and we apologize, we don't have his name on our roster. He is on to try the PAT for the Lions with the wind at the back. Lions with a 6-0 lead right now.
I think that's Ryan Rumpf.
That's it. I remember that now. Kick is up, and it's perfect, and the Lions lead at 7-0 with 9:05 to play first quarter. We'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium. The Lions with a 7-0 lead after Casey Ludford's 23-yard touchdown run. 3 plays covering 39 yards in 1 minute and 2 seconds. Ryan Rumpf with the PAT for the Lions. Here's Rumpf's kickoff. Taken at the 6-yard line, fumbled, picked up at the 9, headed to the far side, across the 15, down the far sideline, out to the 25-yard line on the return for Heath. So I was trying to pick up the number of the returner.
Yeah, he gave the ball to the ref too fast before I could recognize it.
Yeah, and he was covered up with red jerseys, but he trying to follow him. 7-0, Greenville leading it. Here comes Rockwall Heath, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. I formation. Spin, pitches go to the right side and across the 25 to 26-yard line. Jake Rogers working at quarterback. And have a player down on the field right now at the 25-yard line, so we have an injury timeout. 8:45 to play here in the first quarter. Greenville leading at 7-0 over the Hawks of Heath. And by the way, we wish our best to Gary Felmont, who has known him for, I don't know how many years, 25 years or so. Gary Felmont is a coach and is also, also the lead singer and the manager, whole 9 yards of the Blandells. And he fell ill yesterday quickly, and they took him over to a Dallas hospital, and they've been able to do some work on him. They think he may be able to go back to work on Monday or so, as the injured player is up and coming off. I think that's Justin Smith, I believe. Justin Davis. But Gary Felmont, I think they were able to put this. Keith Pope was telling me about it today when I was at Crawford and Smith, and said they had to put 2 stents in his heart. And apparently Gary's going to be fine and back at work on Monday. And Gary, wish you the best, bud. 2nd down play for Heath from their own 26-yard line. Rogers hands off to the tailback. Room to the near side, the 35, the 40, the 45, and then hauled down at the 47-yard line. A nice run by Justin Hemmelrich. And just had lots of green out to the near side.
That was a nice little draw play. And like I said, there's a big hole there and nobody in front of him.
So Justin Hemmelrich is a junior and also works at linebacker. And he is lined up at tailback now. Slot back to the far side. Hemmerlich takes the pitch and goes right, and then goes down at the line of scrimmage over on the far hash mark. Nick Spigner, I think, was in on the tackle for the Lions, along with Jermaine Hamilton.
Absolutely nowhere to go that time.
Yeah, he thought about cutting it inside, and it just he wanted to go outside, but there wasn't anything outside.
No, and I don't think he has the speed to go outside.
7:48 to play first quarter. Greenville leading at 7-0. Here come the Hawks. Slot back comes out to the near side. Split backfield now behind Rogers at quarterback. Penalty markers fly as the running back gets out to the 50-yard line. And Pearson, I think, is the one that made the tackle.
That was Everett Gilbert on the carry, number 14.
Offsides charged against the Lions. So they'll probably accept that penalty, because the penalty will be more than what Mr. Gilbert was able to acquire in his run. So to bring up 2nd down and 5 for Rockwall Heath at the Greenville 48-yard line. One receiver to the far side. Gilbert is slot right. There's one tailback. And again, the Greenville Lions jump offside.
I think those seniors out there are excited.
Well, they should be. It's the final game. There's quite a few seniors that started tonight. And just a little bit anxious to make some pops. And so they'll get a first down out of this penalty. And they do, down to the Greenville 43-yard line. Hawks moving right to left, trailing Greenville 7-0, 7:24 to play first quarter. One receiver to the near side. Slot back is to the near side. Handoff on end around.
Whoa.
Wow, upside down and landing flat of his back went Everett Gilbert. Mark Mosby just absolutely laid him out.
I like that. That was exciting.
Turned his feet straight up in the air, and Gilbert landed on the flat of his back. And Mosby is just a hard hitter. The guy he's a hard-nosed football player. He's been a lot of fun to watch this year. 2nd and 10 for Heath from the Greenville 43-yard line. Split backfield now behind Rogers at quarterback. Pitch goes right side to Gilbert, and he dives forward for a couple of yards down close to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and about 8 now for Heath. Clock rolling with 6:30 to play here in the first quarter. Greenville leading it 7-0. And here come the Hawks. Rogers working in quarterback, full house backfield. Rogers wants to throw, looking left, throwing left, and it is short at the 40-yard line, intended for Gilbert. Looked like he got the nose turned up on the football a little too much.
I was watching him run that play in practice and before the game, and they hit it pretty much every time. Looked good, but game situation is different, a little bit faster.
Yeah, game speed, everything changes. 4th down, and it looks like the Hawks are going for it on a 4th down play here. Rogers is lined up at quarterback under center. Hands it off up the middle, and then down to the left side goes Himmelrich, and he gets to the Greenville 37. That will not be enough for a first down, and so the Lions will take over on downs.
I was watching, I started counting the number of players out there for Greenville, and it looked like they had just a few too many, and then all of a sudden one guy was running off the field. He just barely got off in time, Rich.
If I didn't have this big post in front of him, I might have been able to see them. to see that. Does that sound like a good excuse? Anybody buy that? Casey Ludford from the shotgun. Twins to either side. High snap pulled down with the right hand. Being chased, comes to the near side, turns at the 40, at the 45, hit once, twice, 3 times, and then down at the 49-yard line with a first down for the Greenville Lions. Talk about making lemonade out of lemons. High snap went to his right. He had to dive to the near side. Lions are moving from our left to right, leading at 7-0 with 5:53 to play here in the first quarter. And Ludford picks it up off the ground and scoots to the near side in front of the Lions bench. Picks up the first down. Hard wind blowing out of the north, gusting at about 20-25 miles per hour. Ludford gives it to Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson across to the right side down to about the 48-yard line of Rockwall Heath. Will bring up 2nd down and about 6 for Greenville. Trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Ludford checking his wrist. Eric Johnson standing to the far side of Casey. Casey takes off running to the left. Turns at the 50, across the 45, the 40, first down, and penalty flies at about the 45-yard line.
That was a nice run by Casey. He used his blocker out on the outside, I guess one of the wide receivers, and got some good yardage there. Unfortunately, I bet you it's negated by that penalty flag.
Yeah, it looks like may have been holding or a block in the back. Let's see what the referee is going to tell us here.
Well, Rich, I got the offensive line. I wanted to mention them while I am on the radio. We got, and I'm not going to tell you what position they're playing, but we got Brandon Madkins, Sean Driggers, Justin Reeves, Byron Bell, and Nathan Bird are out in the offensive line right now.
2nd and about 13 for the Lions from their own 45. Casey Ludford on the option coming to the near side. Tucks it and tries to cut inside the 45. Gets maybe to the 46, so about a 1-yard play. Eric Johnson had come wide, and I'm not sure if Casey felt all that confident with the pitch with the wind blowing like it is.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was hesitating on the pitch or hesitating trying to throw the defenders off.
3rd down and about 12 for the Lions from their own 46. Ludford pulls down a high snap. Ball is on the ground and recovered. They tried to flip it back and do a little end around, and the ball wound up laying on the ground, and white jersey came over and jumped on top of it to recover the Greenville Lions fumble at the Greenville 41-yard line. Ball is on the near hash mark. Rockwall Heath moving from our right to left, trailing Greenville 7-0 with 4:23 to play in the first quarter. Tell you, the wind is blowing really hard. It just looked like the wind just floated. The football just floated on the air. Rogers from the quarterback. He is under, has one setback behind him, twins to the far side, hands off up the middle, and in falling forward to about the 37-yard line goes Justin Himmelrich.
I really like those numbers on the Rockwall jerseys.
Oh, I do too. You can actually read them from here without using binoculars. Second down. They give him a long 4, almost 5 yards on that play. By the spot, they put it at the Greenville 36-yard line. One receiver wide to the far side, 2 receivers to the near side. Himmelrich is the lone setback. Takes the pitch to the right side, turns to the 35, and then upended at the 31-yard line, and he's going to be close to a first down if he didn't get it. Earl thinks he's got it for sure. So does the referee. He's already moving the chains. And that's the first down of the night for Rockwall Heath.
No, it's not. You're just testing me here.
Just check to see if you're paying attention.
They got one on that long run earlier and one by penalty.
So that's the third one?
Yeah.
Pitch goes right side, across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Justin Himmelrich on the carry. They'll mark it at the 29. So about a yard and a half gain on the play. Ball is on the far hash mark. Clock rolling with 3:12 to play in the first quarter. Greenville leading at 7-0. Lions put the ball on the ground, and that's how Rockwall Heath has come up with a fumble recovery. That's why they have the ball. Pitch comes to the near side. This is Gilbert. Gilbert is knocked down at about the 28-yard line. And he was trying to tiptoe through the tulips and just never could find an open spot.
No, there's good penetration by the Lions, and even though the Lion defender didn't get to Gilbert, he forced Gilbert to have to start hurdling players and blockers out there.
3rd and 9 for Rockwall Heath at the Greenville 29-yard line. Ball in the near hash mark. Greenville moving from Greenville's not moving anywhere. They're trying to defend this north goal. Rockwall Heath is moving right to left. 3rd down play for the Hawks of Heath. Rogers on the option, keeps it over the right side. It is smothered at the 28-yard line. Mark Mosby cut him off at the knees. And then Nick Spigner came in and hit him in the middle. And then Pearson McIntyre finished him off at the top.
I think the guy covering the pitch for Greenville, unlike the last play where they got a first down out of it, he basically covered the pitch, so the quarterback had no choice but to turn it in. And by the time he cut it in, everybody else was there for Greenville.
4th and 8 for the Hawks, and they're going for it on 4th down into the wind at the Greenville 28-yard line of the far hash mark. Rogers wants to throw. Looking, and it is thrown out of bounds, incomplete at the 15-yard line. And they're going to say that was an uncatchable pass, and so the ball will go over to Greenville's possession. Now with minute 34. Here, I've been drinking out of that, Dave. Let me move that over here.
Hey, Rich.
Yes.
How about them Scarlet Knights?
That was pretty cool that they beat Louisville last night and just knocked them out of everything.
And you know what famous Greenville person went to the school of the Scarlet Knights?
Buffalo Bob Muty.
There you go.
Did that indeed. Let me turn this down so that y'all can make the switch. Oh, that's in my knees. Here come he's all mushy.
You sure you don't want to do it? Oh, you're doing great.
Here are the Greenville Lions, 1st and 10. Ledford alone in the backfield. Takes a snap. Penalty markers fly. Deep pass coming to the near side and almost intercepted at the 30-yard line. As we're joined in the press box now by David Gish, assistant principal with Greenville High School. Holding is the call against the Greenville Lions. This is...
It's like a new one.
Volume, well, sort of, kind of.
Okay.
I don't think which one is the volume, which one's
That's volume right there.
Because I know you like to rock, so you might want to turn that.
Okay.
Well, they're going to accept the penalty. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And so that moves it back to the 18-yard line of the Greenville Lions. They lead it 7-0 over Rockwall Heath with a minute 27 to play here in the first quarter. Trips to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Lone setback is the quarterback, Casey Ludford. Dropping back to pass. Got a man on the fly. That's who he's throwing to, Kevin Heath.
Oh,
and Heath
Kevin.
just cannot wrap his hands around it down at the Rockwall Heath 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice pass by Casey, really right on the money. Yeah. Kevin usually is just really sure-handed. He had split the defense of Rockwall and would have caught the ball at about the 30-yard line, and, of course, he would have easily outran the defenders in. Normally very sure-handed, but that ball, this wind tonight, sometimes even in the air with the wind behind it, does funny things, and it looked like it really sailed on him that time.
Well, especially coming out of the north end zone.
Yeah.
It just is strange. Ludford has a slot back coming in motion to the near side. That's Eric Johnson. Penalty markers fly at the 19-yard line. False start is what Earl calls against the Lions.
Yeah. Well, right now the Lions are really hurting themselves with penalties and just some careless mistakes right now. And Rich, I think I think right now the Lions might be a little bit too pumped up. It was a very emotional day, as you well know, all throughout the day and at the pep rally, and just real emotional, and they're so fired up. I think they just need to settle down and really start concentrating and just play some football and do what they do well, and they should be able to take care of business tonight with these guys.
And they will. Second down now from the 14-yard line at Greenville. Johnson in motion to the near side. Quick toss to Johnson from Casey Ludford. He really doesn't have anywhere to go as he tries to stretch out to the 11-yard line and loses a couple on that play.
Yeah, Rockwall, that play developed. They ran the same exact play that they were going to run before the penalty. I think their coaches and obviously their linebackers, secondary, had smelled it out before. So, like I said, not a great sequence of plays right here. They've got us really deep in our end zone right now, 3rd and really long. But like I said, we can get out of this and or at least just get a good punt after this, play defense.
With 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Ludford rolling left, looking left, throwing left.
Oh, nice
Caught
job.
Left at the 35-yard line. Short of a first down by about 4 yards, and I think that's Ronnie Stanton who came up with the catch.
Yeah, that was a bootleg. Casey really does a good job. That was a bootleg to Casey's left. Casey's a right-hander. He's running to the left on the run and just throws a perfect strike to Ronnie Stanton, who had ran a real nice route. And but it was about 3rd, and I don't know how long it was, about 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah.
And he got about 3.5 miles back, which left it actually leaves about 4th and about 4. We're calling a timeout, and I'm guessing Coach Cordell is pretty confident in his defense, and he looks like he might try to go for this one last play with the wind at our back.
That's what he's wanting to take advantage of. Baxter McConnell was who it was that caught the pass, and I think that may be his first of the year.
No, Baxter.
Did he catch one earlier?
I think he caught one last week at Highland Park, I believe.
You're right. I do remember that. You say that, yeah.
He
late in the game.
He hasn't had many balls thrown to him. He dropped a couple early, but the last couple of games he's made some contributions, which is, Baxter really works hard and deserves any kind of. And I think he actually caught some against Poteet also, caught 1 or 2, because all his family sits right in front of my family in the games, and they were hollering, screaming.
Pearson McIntyre is back deep for the Lions to punt because they're looking at 4th and 4. He is standing at the 22-yard line, gets a good snap.
Oh, good
Gets
kick.
This one high up into the air. The wind carries it down to the 22-yard line, taking up the far sideline, out across the 35 and into the 36-yard line.
Good job by the Greenville punt coverage. Pearson really got a leg into that one. That ball traveled about 50 yards straight up in the air, and the wind carried it. Pearson is he's a pretty good sized young man. He goes about 6'2", about 250, and he's got strong legs. And that was a nice punt. Kind of got Greenville out of a little bit of a hole and put Rockwall back on their 35-yard line. Now it's just up to us to play a little defense here and get a stop, get the ball back.
J.B. Foote with a return for Rockwall Heath. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. A little end reverse
nice
to Gilbert, and Gilbert takes it to the 34, so a loss on the play of almost a yard.
Yeah, Nick Spigner, great job. Little inside reverse. Nick really did a good job of reading his keys and just staying at home. They ran a little inside wing back trap or reverse, whatever you want to call it. And Nick just stayed at home and just read it beautifully. And I don't think he picked up anything.
Greenville leads at 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment.
Oh, touchdown. Well, man, who is that? Almanza? Yeah, that's good. Oh, got a couple flags.
Marty Almanza intercepts a pass from Rogers and returns it about 35 yards for a touchdown with 2 penalty markers back up at the 15-yard line.
Well, that was really a good read on Almanza's part. He's playing outside linebacker. We'll see what this call is first, and we'll talk a little bit more about the play. Okay, blocking in the back. That's going to be a post-possession foul, so we're going to retain possession of the ball. But going back to the play, Marty really did a great job of reading that, stepping right in front. At the change of the quarter, there's a very good win on the field at the back of Rockwall. Yeah, on the back of Rockwall. And, well, what are they going to call here? Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought, post-possession. Yeah. But anyway, of course, you get the win at your back, and you go let your quarterback try to throw. And, the Heath coaches, these kids really aren't that bad. They know what they're doing. Their execution's not too bad. I mean, they've been coached. They're not going to be too bad next year. And you try to give some experience, but
very young.
But Martin just made a good read and stepped in front of it and took it in.
Ludford from the shotgun hands it off inside. Eric Johnson comes across the 20, the 15, and backpedals down to about the 12-yard line. That's enough for a first down for the Greenville Lions.
Well, that was just our little basic option read. Gave it to Eric. Really nice job by Byron Bell. And let's see who's on that side. Justin Reed, I believe, is on that side. Really a nice job just caving in that backside of the Rockwall defense. Big hole for Eric. Just ran right through it, no problem.
1st and 10 for the Lions at the 12 of Rockwall Heath. Ludford hands it off left side. Eric Johnson stretches to get to the 5-yard line, so it'll bring up second down at about 3, with Greenville leading at 7-0 with 11:20 to play here in the first quarter, and the first half, and the clock rolling.
I'm watching Greenville's offensive line, and they're really getting a good push off the ball and just really controlling the line of scrimmage on this series. For 2 plays in a row, they have just really pushed back the Rockwall defensive line, and like I said, doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. We should be able to take this ball in and get a nice, comfortable lead on them.
Second down play. Ludford keeps it going to the right side. Turns at the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Greenville.
Yeah, Casey, we've talked in the past. Casey's really got some good speed, and that time there was no way that the Rockwall outside backer or defensive end were going to touch him. Good job on the stretch play. For our viewers, he fakes the inside handoff, and he just keeps the ball in for the last second. He pulls it out, and everybody runs with the running back. And then Casey just was a foot race around the corner, and just an easy touchdown.
Yeah, he caught the defense, everybody coming to this side, and he read that, and so he took off, and there's only a couple of guys that he had to get in between.
And like I said, there was no way they were matched for his speed. Casey just walks in easy.
Ryan Rumpf with a PAT is up, and it is perfect. And the Lions lead it 14-0 with 10:52 to play in the first half. We'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Casey Ludford with a 5-yard touchdown run makes it 14-0 after Ryan Rumpf's PAT, and the Lions are kicking off into a very strong wind. Ryan Rumpf with a pop-over kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 34-yard line, and one of the Greenville Lions came up and popped him, and that'll bring the flags.
I think that – I'm trying to see his number from here. I can't tell if that was Kevin Heath or Curtis Johnson. One of
those single-digit jerseys.
Yeah, I think it was Curtis Johnson. Just a little bit too much juice flowing on the kickoff. But their up back has signaled for a fair catch. Got to give him the chance. Got to give him the space. Can't go plow into him. And like I said, just nice tackle. But can't do that one. Cannot do that one.
No, especially when he catches it with one knee on the ground, that can sometimes be pretty obvious. 1st and 10 at the 50 with a new quarterback in the ball game and a new running back as well, and the Lions' defensive front just absolutely smashes that offensive play, and it's Drew Hollingshead is working at quarterback now.
I think that's the coach's son, I believe, or maybe I don't think it's his grandson, but the coach is named Tam Hollingshead.
And Jean-Luc Matlack was the running back that time. You didn't think I'd get that out, did you?
I still don't think you did.
Jean-Luc Matlack. Well,
Okay.
I'm French.
Okay, well, that settles that then.
But it was DeLeon Walker that carried the ball, according to Earl.
Okay, well, good.
I had it wrong. 2nd and 10.
Little
movement on the line for Rockwall Heath, and so that'll back them up 5 yards with a dead ball foul.
Yeah, I'm looking at the quarterback number 25, which is Hollingshead, which I believe is the coach's son, and I see that Permian. He coached at Odessa Permian years ago and won a state championship back in the early '90s. And their quarterbacks always wore the 20s, and his son's wearing 20s, like 25 right now.
That explains the colors.
Yeah. So a lot of similarities there.
Pitch
Same
goes
offense.
to the left. Oh, man, he got popped hard, still up, and then finally slung down at the 36-yard line. But Pearson McIntyre fired through and just made sparks fly from the running back. And that was 33. I think it was Justin Emmerlich. Wasn't Justin Emmerlich? 28.
Well, yeah.
That was Matt Bilski.
Yeah, Pearson, like I said, just came through his defensive end and just, he did a lot of that last week against Tyler Park, too.
Yeah, he did.
Pearson has really become a rock on that defensive line, and he just popped through there, hit him so hard he actually bounced away from him.
Yeah.
and the running back went to the opposite side and met some of the Greenville players and lost about 10 yards.
3rd down, back to pass, throwing to the near side, caught at the 49-yard line. Curtis Johnson with the tackle, and it's Colin Lipscomb with the catch.
That was really give Rockwall credit on that. They were 3rd and about 28, and they ran a real nice about a 16 or 17-yard out. Good arm sweep by the quarterback, and fortunately for Greenville, it was about 11 yards short. Curtis Johnson was playing him a little soft, let him make the catch and just secured the tackle, and Greenville was going to get the ball back.
Matt Bilski was the quarterback that time. The punter is on for Rockwall Heath. Has a very strong wind at his back. Has taken off his shoe. Right-footed kicker.
It should be a returnable
end
kick.
Over end. Caught at the 15-yard line. Oscar Lord to the 20, and then out across the 25 to about the 26 on the return for the Greenville Lions, who lead at 14-0 with 8:17 to play first half.
Well, that was a nice little return. Good kick by Rockwall. Good coverage. Oscar fielded the ball clean, and like I said, when they left his foot, I said it looks like it'll be a returnable ball. Got about a 10-yard return. Put Greenville in pretty good field position on about the 26-yard line, and now it's time for Greenville to go back to work. Just milk the clock, pick up some first downs. Don't do anything rash. Get a turnover. I don't think Coach will try to throw the ball if we don't have to. Just see if our ground game can keep us going.
Twins to either side, one setback to the near side of Casey Ludford. Hands it off. Right side goes Eric Johnson. Got a running alley at the 40, across the 50. A foot race down the sideline, and caught by a shirt tail. Is finally taken down at the 30-yard line by Everett Gilbert.
Yeah, nice. Again, Greenville just run their base offense, and that was just a little stretch read. Again, great job by Greenville offensive line. That time they ran behind Nathan Bird, and I'm not sure Brandon Matkin and Sean Driggers. And good job, good blocking downfield by the right receivers.
44-yard run by Eric Johnson. 1st and 10 for the Lions at the 31. Hand off to the near side. Eric Johnson turns it to 30 at the 25 and down at the 21-yard line.
Well, Eric's really having a great night. I mean, he's just breaking tackles, running through people, shows some really nice strength. He didn't have a lot of room that time, and really bounced it outside when he should have probably cut it up inside, but made one of the Rockwall defenders miss and ran through another tackle, picked up about 9 yards, but he should have had about 2.
Ryan Lamberth with the stop for Rockwall Heath. 2nd and a yard for the Lions at the 21 of the Hawks. Ludford keeps it right side.
Foot
at
raise.
The 20,
He's gonna
15,
score.
10, 5, touchdown, Casey Ludford for the Greenville Lions.
Oh, Rich, I'm telling you, that time we run the same, our base offense. By the time Casey pulls it, runs the play to perfection. And, when Casey gets in the open field, he's as fast as anybody else. And that time he just flat outran the whole Rockwall defense to the end zone. They didn't even touch him. And
he slipped and fell down when he got into the black part of the end zone, and he hurt himself.
Oh, don't you think he'll be back?
He'll be back.
We've seen him hurt all year long, and
he wasn't ready to hit concrete though.
No, he wasn't ready to do that. He'll be okay. He probably got a little strawberry. Call him a sissy. Tape a little aspirin on his boo-boo and send him back in. He'll be ready to go. Casey's tough.
Ryan Rupp with the PAT. Gets a good snap. It's down. The kick is up, and it's perfect. And the Lions lead it 21-0 with 7:29 to play here in the first half. We'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment.
Forney.
Casey Ludford with a 21-yard touchdown run as the Lions use 3 plays to go 74 yards. Another little short squib kick that's taken by one of the up guys for Heath at the 46-yard line, and that's where they'll set up shop 1st and 10. They trail Greenville 21-0 now with 7:29 to play in the first half.
Well, Greenville's playing very good on both sides of the ball, really controlling the line of scrimmage both on the offense and the defense. And, seeing some seniors really just giving a great effort tonight, and I'm glad to see them playing this well, playing this hard. And they're, if the score holds out, they're going to feel good about themselves, and they'll feel good about the season. Even though there was some disappointments, we're doing well tonight.
Twins to the near side. Quick toss out to the far side. Got a receiver there, intercepted by the Lions at the 23-yard line. Curtis Johnson, I think, is who it is that came up with the interception.
It's Curtis Johnson. Rockwall or Heath or the Hawks or whatever their name really is, Rockwall Heath, try to get back into the game. They got the wind at their backs, trying to get back in the game in a hurry. Just ran what they call the rail, or we used to call it the bomb, or the deep pass, or the go pattern, whatever you want to. But they were just trying to get a quick strike. And Curtis really played it well. He just ran stride for stride with the receiver from Rockwall, turned around to right at the last minute, and the ball was just a little bit underthrown, and just an easy reception for Curtis. This is just about we started our last drive, Rich. Had a couple big plays, and we'll see what happens here.
Ludford from the shotgun with trips to the near side. Lions moving right to left, leading at 21-0. Here comes Eric Johnson, is tackled at the 19-yard line for a loss on a play of a couple of yards.
Yeah, number 60, I'm not sure. I'm assuming he plays defensive end. Looks like Byron Bell was just a little bit late on a block. And if he had been able to secure his block, there was a lot of green in front of Mr. Johnson. He might still be running right now.
Preston Strigel with the tackle for the Hawks of Rockwall Heath. Second down at about 12 for the Lions now. The ball on Greenville's side of the 20-yard line. On the near hash mark, moving right to left. Ludford wants to throw, has got time, now being chased, throws right.
Oh, nice.
Caught at the 33-yard line. Ronnie Stanton out of bounds now at the 37-yard line. First down for the Greenville Lions.
Yeah, that's a pretty gutsy call. Pretty gutsy call by Coach Cordell. That was just a straight drop back pass, and it was a deep pattern. It was a 5-step drop, and the receivers were running 10, 15-yard patterns, and Greenville offensive line really did a nice job. Casey just shows his arm strength, putting the ball right on the money in this wind. Really a nice play by Greenville.
21-0 Greenville leads it. 6:38 to play here in the first half. Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Ludford from the shotgun gives it to Spigner. Spigner drops the football. It's on the ground. A scramble for the loose ball. No signal yet from the officials. They give it to Rockwall Heath.
Well, it's hard to see what happened. There was a bobble on the exchange. Looked like we were setting up really just a draw play.
Yeah.
And the offensive lineman had done a good job in selling the play, and Nick just didn't get it cleanly or dropped it. I couldn't really tell from here. We're pretty high up, pretty far away, but it was problem on the exchange, and Rockwall has good field position on us now. Trade 1 for 1.
1st and 10 for Rockwall Heath from the Greenville 37-yard line. They run it over the right side and get it maybe to the 36.
Yeah, they're running into the teeth of the Greenville defense. They're running the little Plano used to run it. Odessa Permian runs it. Just the old sweet play. You toss it out. You got a real tight formation with the wing back. The quarterback becomes the lead blocker. and you just try to get a lot of people in a small area and hope somebody can break through there. But so far, Greenville's doing a good job of bottling up everything.
Trips to the far side. Hollingshead at quarterback gives it off to the left side, and then down to about the 30-yard line goes DeLeon Walker for the Rockwall Heath Hawks. Takes it down to the 30. It'll bring up third and a short 3.
It's mine. Hello.
Third down play. Greenville leading at 21-0 over the Rockwall Heath Hawks. 5:35 to play here in the first half.
I'll come get you.
I formation for Rockwall Heath. Hollingshead at quarterback. Spins around, gives it to the tailback, and he dives into the middle of a bunch of red jerseys and did not get the first down at the 28-yard line. So it's going to bring up fourth down and about a yard for Rockwall Heath. Lions leading at 21-0 with 5 minutes to play in the first half, and the clock is rolling. Fourth down play, and the Hawks are going for it. I formation. Lions are pressing up front. Now they back off. They got a bunch of people up in the box. They run it up the middle, and it's going to be, depends on where the official wants to put his foot down.
It's going to be close. What do you think, Earl? Earl's always good on this. Earl's put his hands up, but like you said, Earl's got that eagle eye. That's too close for call.
Yep, they're going to measure it.
It might be short, Rich.
I think that it is, but it looked like the way the pile moved, it looked like he had it. But the officials were moving like he didn't have it.
Well, I'm going to say from here, I'm going to say it's going to be short.
I'm going to have to agree with that, even though they stretched it out. Now they do. It's a full football short.
Well, Rich, I'm going to take about a minute and a half, go outside and take my coat to my niece that has come from Longview to watch my daughter, but she forgot her jacket, and she's 10 years old, and she's cold.
Wow. Yeah, she'll be cold in this wind.
So I'm going to just leave just for a second, take her a jacket so she doesn't freeze to death.
That's fine.
I'll be right
Good
back.
Idea. We'll be right here. Greenville takes over the ball now on fourth down. 4:36 to play here in the first half. Greenville leading at 21-0. Ludford from the shotgun gives it off to Johnson. Eric coming to the near side, caught at the 30-yard line. He's pretty much running, standing straight up. And coming up with the tackle, I think, was Colin Lipscomb. I think with the tackle for Rockwall Heath. But a gain of a couple of yards on the play. So it brings up second down and about 8. Ball is on the near hash mark. Lions moving right to left, leading at 21-0 with 4:04 to play in the first half. Two receivers to each side. Give over the right side. Eric Johnson spins across the 35, comes to the 40, and then tackled at about the 44-yard line. First down for the Greenville Lions. Nice move by Eric Johnson, who cut it back into the inside. Looked like he was going to break out and then had to pop it back in. 111 yards on 9 carries for the night thus far for Eric Johnson, who had a good night last week against Highland Park. 3:44 and the clock rolling here in the first half. Greenville leading at 21-0. Trips to the far side. One receiver to the near side. Here goes Eric Johnson across the 50 and then knocked down at about the 47-yard line of the Hawks of Heath. And so it'll bring up second down and a couple at the most for the Lions. Final game of the season for these seniors, and wanting to go out on a winning note. And Heath has no seniors on their football team. First time they played varsity football, as a matter of fact. New high school. 2nd and 2 for the Lions. Handoff comes to the near side. Eric Johnson trying to pick a hole, and he's got the first down. And a little more to go with it as he gets down to the 43-yard line of Rockwall Heath, as he was really running, protecting the football. And one of the Rockwall Heath players lost his helmet. It's one of the defensive linemen. Lost his helmet there for a moment. He's able to recover it. But Lions get a first down at the Heath 43-yard line.
Greenville's just doing a good job on a methodical march here.
Ludford keeps it over the middle, goes to the 40 on the far side, the 30, 25, 20, and then tackled right at the 20, and he falls forward. They'll mark it at about the 17-yard line. First down for the Greenville Lions.
Well, I tell you what, that was just that was the quarterback counter. The backside of the Greenville line, offensive line, which is Justin Reeves and Byron Bell, came across the formation, and Casey just followed those two big bodies in there, and I thought he was going for a touchdown. Nice play by the secondary of the cornerback of Rockwall to peel back off his block and get Casey before he took off, because he was the only one between him and the goal line. Casey had a full steam going, and he was heading to the end zone.
Ball is at the 17-yard line of Heath. Lions with twins to each side. Casey Ludford from the shotgun gives it off right side to Eric Johnson, and he battles his way down to the 10-yard line of the far hash mark.
Greenville's really doing a good job of dominating the line of scrimmage, and they're really having way with this Heath team. And these guys are going to be they're going to be a pretty good ball club next year, but they're a year away and they're still learning. And like I said, Greenville is just really manhandling them right now, and really looks good. And the execution is very sharp tonight for Greenville.
Second and a long 3 at about the 10-yard line. High snap pulled down by Ludford. Penalty markers fly. Ludford pumps once and then runs to the near sideline, and he puts his head down, and it is knocked out of bounds at about the 11-yard line.
About timing with the blocking schemes, and the snap was off and the timing was off, and didn't get a good read like we normally do. So it throws the whole play off in case you had to scramble. Have you seen a call yet? Okay. Holding. Okay, we kind of thought that. But so as I was saying, and once the timing's thrown off and the play itself breaks down, then it's time for Casey to ad-lib. And, but Lord, we've seen him do that all year long. It's really fun to watch him ad-lib, man.
Especially when he is able to gain yardage. This time they actually lost yardage. It's second down. They need to get down to the 7-yard line to get a first down. The ball's at the 21-yard line of the Hawks right now. Ludford from the shotgun. The snap gets by him. He picks up the ball back at the 35, throws it into the end zone, got a receiver standing and waiting, and it is knocked down by the defender right at about the 1-yard line. He jumps up into the air and knocks it away.
Yeah, nice play by the defender from Rockwall. I'm not sure what number. I think it's 21 or something.
Yeah,
I think it's right. Cornerback. But good job by Casey just scooping the ball up. Another bad snap. He did a nice job recovering it, planted his feet, and really threw a nice strike. We had, I think it was Kevin Heath was in the end zone standing there. The ball had been thrown maybe a half a step earlier, probably been 6 points, because the ball was right on the money. The defender from Rockwall just made a last-second effort to get his hands up and did a good job of knocking it down.
Ryan Lamberth was the defender on the play for Rockwall Heath. Lions with a third down play now at the 21 of the Hawks. Ludford coming to the near side, being chased, and is caught from behind and dropped at the 21-yard line.
Nice play by number, was it 36?
Greg Deloche with the tackle, 35.
Nice, 35. Nice play by number 35. Really showed a little speed because Casey had gotten around him, and he took a good angle to cut him off before he was able to turn the corner and get any yardage on the scramble. And the secondary of Rockwall also did a good job covering Greenville receivers. Left Casey no place to go, so he just pulled it down to take off. But, now we're fourth and long, and, I know we're going to go for it here. We got to get down to the 7-yard line.
Timeout is what they're going to do.
Yeah, we got 38 seconds, so there's no reason to.
Yeah. The play clock is down to 4, and the game clock's down to 30. And so he's going to take a timeout, and he does, with 30 seconds showing on the game clock, and Greenville leading at 21-0. And so they may try to go for it here on fourth down.
Yes, probably. With this win, probably a little bit out of Ryan Rump's range. They might let it, if it was a nice night or the wind was at his back, they might let Ryan get a shot at it. But, from here it's close to a 40-yard field goal. That's a pretty good field goal in this wind. So I don't think they'll go for that. They'll probably just try to throw something across the middle, bootleg action or something, I would guess. Or he might just be content just to hand it off to Eric and just get what you can out of it.
Lori Butler's in the room.
Yeah. How do you like Rich's mustache and beard?
I love it.
It's been Sharon Sweet rearranged the color on it at Image Makers.
So you claim. I mean,
she did.
Okay.
She did a terrific job, and I've had people that didn't recognize me.
Yes, today.
You were one of them.
I sure was. I did do a double take.
A little reverse. Here goes Heath around the right side at the 20, the 15,
down.
the 10, the 5. And he tried to dive for the end zone, and yes, he got there. Touchdown, Greenville.
Well, I tell you what, that was a play they tried a while ago when they actually laid the ball on the ground. The man running the reverse forgot to come around. Really a nice job set up. Let's see, who's the tackle? That was Brandon Matkins. Really a nice downfield block, and I think Ronnie Stanton also threw a nice block. Good job by Casey Love for selling the reverse, and Kevin Speed. There's no way Rockwall's defense was going to touch him. He was gone.
Ryan Rupp on for the PAT, gets a good snap. The kick is up.
Ooh, limped over.
And it's good.
Okay.
It's perfect. Makes it 28-0. Greenville leading at 19 seconds to play in the game, and in the first half, I should say. And we'll go ahead and keep it here as Ryan Rupp is being talked to by Coach Cordell.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm glad to see him having this success. Ryan's a sophomore, and he was brought up from the JV when Andrew Tarrant was injured in the Poteet game. And I know last week, man, he was about to die in Highland Park, but actually kicked pretty well. Tonight, you can see he's really relaxed. He's kicking with confidence. He's been able to work with the holder and the snapper all week, and the timing is really down. And he looks good kicking, and he'll be our kicker for the next 2 years. So, again, that's good to see that, able to have some success as a sophomore kicking the ball. Now, the kickoffs have been kind of interesting the last couple of weeks. And
no, not really.
Yeah, well, and I say that facetiously, but we've had 2-yard kickoffs and 10-yard kickoffs.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of different kind of kickoffs.
We've had whiffed.
Yeah, we had one of those.
Ball, yeah. Heath scores a 20-yard touchdown run against Heath. I thought that was kind of
no pun intended. No pun intended.
It's a for real deal.
You were waiting for that one.
Well, he fed it to me.
Okay.
Earl did. 9 plays covering 72 yards in 4 minutes and 17
Good
seconds.
Kick.
Nice kickoff taken at the 26-yard line, across the 30, the 35, and down to about the 38-yard line with 13 seconds showing on the game clock.
Yeah, that time Greenville elected just to kind of have a low line drive kick, and Ryan kicked it down to about the 30-yard line, up back of Rockwall, scooped it up out of in midair and brought it back up about 8 yards. Greenville's defense did a good job covering that time, coverage team, and negated a real big return. So not a bad job.
In this wind, I'm thinking if you're trying to kick a field goal inside 30 yards, you need to second think that.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's probably why we elected to run the reverse. But again, Greenville's handled the win pretty well tonight. They really have.
Hawks back to pass. Hollingshead is caught from behind, blindsided, knocked down at the 26-yard line.
That was Jermaine Hamilton, and all night he's just been about a half step from getting the quarterback, and that.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime enjoyment, we now present the Greenville Flaming Flashes and the Lion Pride Band. The Flaming Flashes are the oldest drill team in the world, founded 78 years ago by Gussie L. Davis, famed creator of the Kilgore Rangerette. We proudly present the 2006-2007 Greenville Flaming Flashes. Officers for 2006 are Major Kendra Camlin, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Dave Camlin. Major Marty Ride, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Ride, and the grandparents of Nick, Jonathan, and Kenneth Wright. Major Sarah Sanders, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Sanders. Major Jenny Calley, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Norman Calley. Major Lindsay Williams, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Wally Williams, and the granddaughter of Fran Williams. Major Brandy Rump, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Gary Rump, and the niece of Ron Rump and Melinda Rump. Colonel Edith Fish, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. David Fish. cousins Josh Lenny and Hannah Graham, niece and Rachel Graham, and Pam and Dale McCrabb, granddaughter of James and Doris Burton. Neighbors John and Holly Goethe. Outstanding players of the week are Dee Dee Collier and Leslie Hayes. Just entertained you with their traditional high kick and are now featured in a pom-pom as the band plays on replay. And assistant class director, Ms. Deborah Anderson Hopkins, and class director, Ms. Lori L. Butler. David Baggin is
and Heath is going to be kicking off from our left to right, and the wind is blowing strongly from the north.
Rich, actually, that wind has picked up. It seems like I was just outside watching a halftime, and I mean that wind is picking up. It's blowing more now than it was before the game started, I believe.
Gusting at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. There's a kickoff. Line driver bounces off of the fingertips of Mr. Peyton, or Gray, that is, and goes out the backside of the end zone, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, that was a good thing because that ball was really traveling. But it looks like Greenville is going to go into the win the third quarter and have the fourth quarter to win in his bag. So that will kind of expect maybe Rockwall to throw the ball pretty much the third quarter, and they'll probably try to throw the fourth quarter too, but they're going to try to do some deep stuff third quarter, I mean. And I kind of expect Greenville just to continue to milk the clock, run their offense, chew up the yards on the ground, and just, get out of here.
I want to tell you something about Justin Davis here in just a moment, something he did when he came out on the field for the third quarter. Ludford from the shotgun gives it off inside and then stumbling down at about the 23-yard line because Eric Johnson just saw scoreboard lights. He was just absolutely gone, and his wheels got to spinning on the turf.
I'm telling you, man, there was an old term they used to call self-tackleization, and you just saw the definition of it right there. Eric came through. There was a huge hole. Nobody was even around him for 5 yards. He just tried to get going, just fell down, just fell over his own feet.
2nd and 8 for the Lions. Ludford from the shotgun, moving from our right to left, leading at 28-0. Here comes Johnson, turning at the 25. Nope, Ludford kept it over the right side. Boy, I bought that one all the way, and he gains maybe a yard out to about the 23 or the 24. But I saw Justin Davis, you know the G-Force.
Oh, yeah.
And he was carrying the G flag. Justin Davis was carrying the G flag and running it down the field, and then all seniors gathered around him and around the big G flag that's normally carried by the G-Force. And the G-Force is made up of
seniors.
And they're down, they used to get to stay on the sidelines. I think that they may have found a warmer place to celebrate by now.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a penalty against Greenville, probably a hold. But yeah, the G-Force, what it is if you have come to the games in the past, they're our spirit club. They're seniors that they have a lot of spirit. They dress up in T-shirts. They paint their faces. They have crazy hats. But they just try to get the crowd. They help the cheerleaders get the crowd fired up. And they have a lot of fun doing it. It's been going on for about 25 years in Greenville.
It's old tradition.
Yeah.
Ludford takes a shotgun, runs off to the right side with it, and makes it to the 20-yard line for about a 5-yard gain on the play, and will make it
it's going to be third and
10.
Yeah, about third and about 10. Like I said, had kind of an unfortunate series a while ago, or play a while ago. It was like a holding. Casey was able to get back most of the yardage that time, and which makes it third and about 9.5. But just again, the base play, the quarterback read, where he fakes the handoff into the line, and then he decides to pull it or give it. And that time he pulled it and got some good yards back, about 10. Got the penalty back about 10 yards.
Trips to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Greenville leading at 28-0. 10:20 to play here in the third quarter. Ludford takes off for the right side, the 30 with a first down, puts his head down, and gets out to about the 33. 1st and 10, Greenville.
That was an interesting wrinkle, that play. That time they had a man coming across the formation. Casey let him get it all the way across, and then when the ball was snapped, the motion man turned and actually circled around behind Casey like he was getting in position for a pitch.
And they did that before they threw it to the far Eric Johnson. Oscar Lloyd, I think, or I forget who it was, but they came around from that slot position on the far side.
Just a nice little wrinkle. That time Casey just decided to just tuck it and run. I don't know if he saw something, but he ended up getting the first down. He got about 12 yards off the run.
Little bootleg play. Ludford hands off up the middle, and Eric Johnson almost ran out of the tackle but couldn't quite escape, and is going to get forward progress to the 34 for a gain of a yard.
Yeah, that time, good job by the Rockwall defense, kind of stuff in the middle. Greenville, I saw a while ago, substitute, got some reserves in there now in the offensive line. Warren Dennis is in there playing in one of the guard positions. And number 72 for Greenville. He's a senior, has worked real hard for a couple of years, and Jeff Cordell is rewarding him now by giving him some quality playing time. in the middle of this game. So, like I said, kudos to Coach Cardell getting these kids in here and these kids that have worked so hard to get them in here and let them play some meaningful time.
Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Ludford in the shotgun, gets a high snap, pulls it down, and has to take off running with it, and then loses a couple of yards back to the 31-yard line.
That's a great job by Casey just handling the snap. The snap was, way over his head. Could have been disastrous for him. Actually, I take that back. That was Jeremy Fowler,
it was.
sophomore. Mm-hmm. Casey was on the sideline. That's Jeremy Fowler, a sophomore that has got a good chance to be the starter next year. He's been brought up on for the JV and showed a little bit of quickness right then and good poise to grab the ball and bring it down. But we're left with 3rd and about 12 now.
They need to get to the 43 to get a first down from the Greenville 31 right now. Ludford from the 26-yard line sends Eric Johnson in motion and a penalty marker for delay of game back at the 43. Clock stops with 8:20 to play third quarter. Greenville leading at 28-0.
Yeah, like I said, right now just kind of get some signals crossed. But like I said, just no need to panic. Just play the down here. If we don't get the first, try to get a good kick and just play defense. We've done a good job with that tonight. Don't do anything here that makes it easy for Rockwall.
Jeremy Fuller was the quarterback who was in the games. That's what Earl was trying
Fowler.
to.
It's Jeremy Fowler.
Jeremy Fowler.
Yeah.
My bad. Punt by Casey Ludford. Now rolls out to the near side, throws it deep over the middle, and it's caught laying on the ground. And they're going to say it was incomplete. Baxter McConnell with the catch.
Nice play.
That was ruled incomplete.
Yeah, nice play. He has a better side. Well, from here it looked like it was complete.
Yeah.
It was really a nice job. Casey showed again. Casey really does a nice job of running to his left and throwing the ball right-handed. Does a real nice job on that. Actually, was throwing back across his body as the receiver McConnell was trying to stop his route and make an easy target for Casey about the 45-yard line, which is about 4 yards past the first down marker. Unfortunately, the ball was just probably about a half an inch on the ground when he got it. Ruled a trap.
Pearson McIntyre back to punt from the Greenville 14. Gets a good snap.
Good kick.
Gets off a pretty nice punt into the wind.
Yeah, real nice job.
Dies at the 40-yard line, and the Greenville Lions will kill it at the 42 of Rockwall Heath. And that's where they'll set up shop 1st and 10, trailing Greenville 28-0 with 7:40 to play third quarter.
Yeah, that was a real nice job by Pearson, kicking the ball into the wind. That time he kept the ball on kind of a low path. He got his leg into it. It was high enough to let the coverage team get down there. But again, hit the ground, rolled. Greenville's defense downed it and did not give Rockwall a chance to get a return.
38?
No, 8.
Oh, 8.
Here come the Hawks. They get it out to the 45-yard line for about a 3-yard gain. I was trying to find out. Fowler, is he number 8? Or is he 12? No, he's not.
He was 8 or 9. Well, it was a single-digit number.
Yeah.
When he came 8 or 9, I'm not sure.
I see a 6. That
yeah,
can't be it.
No,
that's 8. I see him now. It's 8.
Yeah. Jeremy Fowler. His father was years ago was the sophomore of the year for Pittman King back in about 81 or so.
That's maybe. Pretty special.
Yeah.
Moving to the backfield and no penalty marker. He was able to get set before the snap. And looked like a busted play as Hollingshead has to eat it at the 44-yard line.
Yeah. That time it was like a busted play. Hollingshead came out with the ball looking to pitch it to somebody. The tailback was in pitch relationship. It kind of looked like he was waiting to get the ball, but we had 2 Greenville defenders on top of the quarterback really quick. We were bringing a strong side blitz from Jermaine Hamilton, and Mark Mosby had broken through. And like I said, probably did a smart thing and just eat it.
3rd and 7
this is their passing formation.
From the 45. Hollingshead back to pass. Being pursued from the back. He throws it, and it's almost intercepted at the 48-yard line as Curtis Johnson almost got his second pick of the game.
I tell you what, Curtis Johnson really – it looked like he was just almost baiting Hollingshead. He laid back. It was about a 12-yard route, and Curtis was laying back behind the receiver, and as soon as he threw the ball, he broke and made a nice break on the ball and really should have had that one. That would have been 6 points the other way because there was nobody in front of him. If he had taken that ball, if he'd have caught it, he'd taken it all the way to the end zone.
Jason Harris on the punt for the Hawks of Rockwall Heath from the 35-yard line. High twisting punt, bounces at the 28, across the 25, and then down to the 27-yard line of the Greenville Lions. 22-yard line, excuse me. Thanks, Earl. I don't know how I missed that, but I've only done that 3, 4, 5 times this year.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. Earl's going to keep it straight.
That's why I got him here, man. I can count on him, yeah. Can always count on the engineer. 6:10 to play, third quarter. Greenville leading at 28-0 over the Hawks of Rockwall Heath. I think they just soon be called Heath. Yeah. And I called them Heath Hawks at the beginning of it, and then Earl started laughing because he said it reminded him of Hee-Haw.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of a stretch, I thought.
We won't go there.
No. Ludford from the shotgun. Hands it off to Johnson. It's Oscar Lloyd in the ball game. He gets it out close to the 24.
Yep. Again, like I said, Greenville's just kind of running their base offense right now, playing it conservative on our end of the field. Just the old dive play, and just let the big men do some work and try to get him some room. That time he picked up about 2 yards. Rockwall, they're trying to hang tough here. They're working hard still on defense, and haven't given up yet. I mean, they're outmatched physically, but they're playing hard.
Yeah, they're developing their own mojo.
This is going to be
Ludford
Casey.
keeps it over the right side, the 25, the 30, the 35, and then finally wrestled down at about the 38-yard line. A first down for the Lions.
That was the quarterback counter, as I talked about earlier, is when the right side blocks down, and then Justin Reeves and Byron Bell come through the hole, and Casey gets behind those two big men and picked up an easy 13 yards. Strong safety number 11 made a touchdown saving tackle because Casey was just about ready to get cranked up. And he's been close all night, really taking one to the house.
Earl had to be a note that said Heath Hawks, Hee-Haw. He can't get over that. Can't get past it.
Okay.
Casey Ludford hands off to Lloyd. He goes right, turns at the 40, across the 45, struggles to try to get to the first down at the 49-yard line. He's going to be awfully close. Earl's giving it to him.
Earl says he's got it. Well, Earl's usually right. He's usually right.
This is true. I've learned not to argue with him.
With that spot, he's got a first down.
Personal foul against Rockwall Heath, so it won't matter anyway.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's true. Unless they waive it off. We haven't seen
a personal foul. You don't wave off a personal foul.
You do in Highland Park.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
God, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Highland Park.
Well, okay.
I'm thinking last week.
You gotta remember where they were.
That's true. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's fair here.
Well, even sometimes at home, Greenville doesn't get any respect from the officiating crew.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been treated like that since we've been to Dangerfield years ago.
Yeah.
Pretty rough, but I don't really need to bring that up, I guess.
Nobody will forget it. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Trips to the far side at the Rockwall 36-yard line. Lloyd over the right side, bursts across the 30 and was real close to turning that one loose at the 29.
Yeah, just good hard running by Lloyd. And, again, the Greenville offensive line is really starting to assert itself and just starting to control the line of scrimmage as we were doing in the first half. And right now Greenville's just chewing up the clock. And I think Rockwall's had the ball one possession, and we've had the rest of the time. And we're 6 minutes into this quarter. So Greenville doing a really good job of ball control and running down the clock, keeping their offense off the field.
2nd and 3 for the Lions at the 29. Handoff left side and pulling free across the 25.
Is that Spigner or Lloyd?
Well, it's neither one. It's Oscar Lloyd.
Okay.
It is Oscar Lloyd. I thought I saw a 4 in there, and there's a penalty at the last minute that
I think
came out.
I think Greenville offensive line are clapping. Warren Dennis is clapping his hands. Looks like it's going to be something against Rockwall Heath. They're starting to get frustrated. Like I said, they're really being manhandled right now, and they can't really do much about it. I think they're starting to, like I said, get a little frustration.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct charged against the Hawks.
So that's another 15 yards, getting us very close in the score. Well,
should be first and goal.
Yeah, we're going to be probably on about the 6-yard line. Just 15 yards.
Half the distance.
Half the distance is going to end up. Okay, going to be in.
Dead ball foul again. The signal.
12. Yep, 12-yard line.
So it'll be first and 10 at the 12-yard line of Rockwall Heath for the Lions. Ball is on the near hash mark. Greenville moving right to left, leading at 28-0. 3:52 to play here in the third quarter. Trips to the far side. Twins to the near side. Casey Ludford is the lone setback, so he's probably going to run with it. Gets a snap and throws it into the end zone, and it is caught. They're going to call it incomplete.
Man, yeah. Now, was that Ronnie Stanton, I believe? It's hard to say.
I can't read the numbers.
It was one of the
from up
wideouts.
here.
I think it was Ronnie Stanton.
Yeah, it came from over on the other side. It was Ronnie Stanton.
Ronnie really made a nice attempt. Casey threw it low and hard, where he should do in the end zone, so it won't be intercepted. And Ronnie made a nice diving attempt. Looked like he had it for a second, but I don't think he was able to completely get possession of it before the ball hit the ground. So, but nice try.
Yeah, that'd been a catch last week for Highland Park. Woo. First and 10 for Greenville at the 12. I'm sorry, second and 10. Handoff over to the left side.
Good hard run by.
Yeah, good run down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, Oscar Lloyd. Mm-hmm. Good hard run by Oscar Lloyd, picking up about 5 yards. Just a little delay, like a delayed draw. Y'all, okay.
Are they leaving?
They are leaving. They are leaving. That was my wife handing me my keys, and
I recognize those eyes.
Yeah. But it's pretty blustery out there, Rich.
It's cold.
Yeah, and you got shorts on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm toasty up here.
That's not bad.
3rd and 6. Ludford wants to do it at the 15-yard line, running right. Now he comes back to the near side at the 20.
Peel back,
now at the 15, and a penalty marker goes down as Ludford goes down at the 10-yard line.
Well, that was a busted play. Yeah, that was a really good job by the Rockwall defense that time. That was that same quarterback counter he's had so much success with. And that time we were able to get penetration, which disrupted the Ludford's path. And so he tried to peel it back off and had some good licks. Passed by Greenville does a good job of what we call peel back blocks. But we're going to get a holding or a block
we got
back,
a holding.
Something. But
Earl was trying to give it to Heath. And,
I think it's going to be against us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I say that
because it wasn't a pass play.
No, it was a run. It was a quarterback counter holding Greenville. Yeah. Anyway, let's give another attempt to do something. Last time we were down here, we ran the reverse right here to Kevin Heath, and he walked in from about 20 yards out with 30 seconds left or something. So we got 2 plays to go 19.
2:37 to play third quarter. Greenville leading at 28-0. Lions moving right to left into a very crisp north wind that is blowing at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Ludford throwing right, caught at the 2-yard line, touchdown Greenville.
Oh, man, what a nice throw, what a nice catch, and nice move.
Tim Woods, I think, is who caught that.
31?
No, it's Marty Almanza, number 10.
Number 10, Martin Almanza.
Martin.
Yeah, he does he plays outside linebacker for us most time, but he has caught some passes this year, and that time just a real nifty little move, just caught the ball about the 1-yard line, sidestepped, and walked into the end zone.
Here's the PAT. It is up, and it is perfect. And the Lions now lead it 35-0 with 2:24 to play here in the third quarter, and we'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Casey Ludford with a 17-yard touchdown pass to Marty Almanza. The Lions used 8 plays to go 78 yards in 3 minutes and 46 seconds. And Ryan Rumpf on with a PAT. And that locomotive motion, I haven't seen that since Mac Morrow was a running back.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't seen that in a long time. And might I say, Rich, that
here's a pop-over kick. Let me get this one down first. And fair catch made at the 32-yard line for Rockwall Heath.
I was going to say, Almanza looked about as good as you do in the waltz as he walked into the end zone. Just sidestep to the side. Looked like you doing the waltz out there. Just boop. Just as pretty as you please.
Looked like me trying to get through the cafeteria line. 35-0.
Got there about as quick.
It's at 2:24 to play here in the third quarter. And the Lions, it's been all Greenville offensively and defensively against this young Heath Hawk team.
Yeah, and we have to remember that they're just trying to build a program. And
there's a lateral pass that's on the ground, picked up by Jermaine Hamilton, 10-5. Touchdown, Greenville.
Oh, man. Yeah, there comes a time when you start to really feel sorry for these kids. Rockwall, actually, they're trying to build a program, and they got several sophomores to start for them, and the rest of them are juniors, and we don't want to rub it in too bad because they're going to have some pretty good memories in the off season.
Oh yeah.
Need to be a little careful here. But but you can't tell the kids not to be aggressive.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't tell the kids not to do that.
To stop when there's nobody to stop you.
Yeah, as a gift, that was just a gift. But
Ryan Rupp is on for the PAT. Snap is down. They have to pick it up. Marty Almanza was going to try to kick it. He's at the 5-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So the PAT will go for naught, and the Lions lead it 41-0 here with 2:14 to play in the third quarter. Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Ryan Rupp on to kick off for the Greenville Lions, who lead it 41-0 over the Hawks with 2:14 to play here in the third quarter. Here's Rupp's approach, kicking into the wind. And it's loose on the ground inside the 30, and the Lions almost came up with it inside the 30, and it's going to be the Hawks ball at the 27-yard line. Boy, that was close.
That was close.
Man, that was close.
We were going after it. That was a really nice kick, and the up back from Rockwall just really misplaced it or misplayed it, and Greenville was down on top of it pretty quick. Almost was able to save that on the sidelines and had the ball at about their 22-yard line.
Here come the Hawks now, trailing Greenville 41-0 here with 2:14 to play here in the third quarter.
Go ahead.
Handoff goes over to the left side. They get it out to about the 27-yard line. And a gain of only about a yard for the Hawks with 2:03 to play, and the clock is rolling here in the third quarter. Now the wind at their back, and I'm suspecting that they're going to try and take advantage of having the wind at their back while they can, if they're going to have a chance of maybe getting back into the ball game. Twins to the near side, one lone setback. Rogers pitches it behind the running back, who finally picks it up and then goes down at about the 23-yard line. Kendall Lawrence with the loss of the play. He was the pitch man and goes down. They'll mark his forward progress at the 25-yard line, which is pretty generous on the part of the officials, I think.
He fell forward.
He fell forward? Oh, Earl says it's legitimate.
Well,
so I'll take Earl's word for it. Third and 11 play now. Rogers back to pass, under pressure, and down he goes. That's Hollingshead, who goes down at the 9-yard line.
That time it was Almanza and Jermaine Hamilton. They've been playing the bookends on the defense, the outside backers, and they've been quite a pair this year on pass rush. They were. That Terrell is when they kind of first started teaming up and started really giving opposing quarterbacks some problems, and they've done it every week. In fact, they were pretty close last week of reaching the quarterback from Highland Park a few times, but just never could quite get there. But like I said, they've done it all year long, and again, one more time they meet in the backfield for a big play.
Punting from the end zone. Short kick, bounces at the 41. Picked out of the air by Johnson and fumbles the ball forward out of bounds at about the 36-yard line.
That's pretty dangerous return right there. Johnson almost let that ball bounce around too much before he picked it up, and then he wasn't able to get outside of the coverage team of Rockwall. Like I said, nice job of them covering. But Greenville still set up pretty good field position on about Rockwall's 40-yard line, and Coach Cardell's doing what I thought he'd do now, is sitting in a lot of the reserves that are going in to play. I see Casey still in at quarterback. It's got kind of a mix here. Byron Bell's still in there. It looks like he's got a lot of – really looks like he's got a lot of seniors out there playing right now. Some of the receivers are seniors. It's got kind of a mixed bag of starters and second-teamers, but all seniors right now.
Greenville leading at 41-0 with about 16 seconds to play third quarter. Ludford over the right side. Hurdles the 35-yard line and gets down to about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line, maybe where they mark it, and it'll bring up second down at about 2.
Yeah, just the quarterback counter. That's been a very successful play all night long. And even the second bunch is blocking it pretty well. Casey just tucks in behind those linemen and just goes. And that's the end of the third quarter.
Greenville leading at 41-0 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with the final quarter of football for the year when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Casey Ludford from the shotgun with a 2nd and 3 for the Lions. Gives it to Spigner. Spigner trying to tiptoe across the 30-yard line and just cannot get loose.
Yeah, where they got it marked, it looks like it's going to be a first down. It was a second and about 2.5, and he got about 2 3/4, I think. But good hard run by Nick. And like I said, I'm looking out on the field, and I'm seeing, like I said, a lot of kids. In fact, here comes Jeremy Fowler's coming into quarterback now.
Yeah, Ludford gets a big hug from one of the coaches as he comes off of the field.
Ludford's had a great game. He's run well. He's thrown the ball well. Great leadership. And now it looks like they're going to let Jeremy Fowler get some quality playing time. And like I said, it looks like he is right now the heir apparent to quarterback next year. He's a sophomore, and he has played very well in the JV. They brought him up because of all the injuries a couple of weeks ago, and he's hasn't had any much varsity action, just a little bit. But he's going to get some tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how he runs this offense. He's got a good arm. He's not as fast as Casey, but he is accurate. He's very smart, and he can put the ball on the money. He's got a quick release, and if he gets the chance to throw the ball, I think you'll like what you see.
Heath ran 7 plays in the third quarter for minus 17 yards, 3 minutes and 37 seconds of time. Lions had 17 plays for 102 yards and 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Handoff goes over the right side. I think that may have been, I started to say Oscar Lloyd, but I think that's wrong.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was Oscar Lloyd.
Okay, Oscar Lloyd. Oscar Lloyd's a junior. He'll be back next year. He's got some quality time at running back both tonight and throughout the year. He's played at running back, and like I said, he's getting some good time and getting a chance to see some of these young guys play. But like I said, I hope Fowler gets a chance to throw the ball. I want you to see his release and watch his release, see what you think. But he's a pretty good-looking quarterback.
Well, they don't need the points because Greenville leads at 41-0 right now. Handoff goes over the right side. Oscar Lloyd at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, and carries 2 of the Hawks into the end zone with him. Touchdown for the Greenville Lions.
I'll tell you what, Byron Bell provided a huge escort. I mean, Oscar Lloyd just tucked into Byron's back pocket, and he led him down the field about 20 yards. Then I think Byron either got tired or Oscar just ran past him, got tired of following him. But Oscar drug the rest, like you said, 2 defenders into the end zone. And a nice run by Oscar Lloyd and the Greenville Lions, touchdown for them.
Fowler with the hold, Marty Almanza with the kick, and it's perfect. And the Lions lead at 48-0 here with 10:40 to play in the ball game. And we'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment.
All right.
Oscar Lloyd with a 27-yard touchdown run, 4 plays covering 40 yards in a minute and 36. Greenville leads at 48-0 here with 10:40 to play in the ball game. And Coach Gish, I tell you, I have given absolutely my last pep talk.
You might have to give them every game last year.
No,
I'm telling you what, boy. There's some people that are inspired tonight. They are, and like I said, I don't want to.
Ryan Rupp kicks it off, taken at the 2-yard line, down the far side at the 20, down to the 25, and then knocked down there. I wanted to think that was Hollingshead with the carry on the return.
And I'm not sure who the Greenville defender was, but was it Oscar Lloyd? Who was coming off the field?
Bilski.
Okay, really.
Well, Bilski with a return.
I can't tell.
This is Stanton that made the tackle. Is that what
Jermaine Hamilton made the tackle. Okay, I see his number
Okay.
36. Greenville looks like he's got reserves in now on defense. Like Coach Cordell's letting these kids play that have worked all year, and so let's just get them out here, let them bump around a little bit and play some football.
Pitch goes to the wing back, goes right side, gets into the secondary across the 30, out to about the 32-yard line, about an 8-yard gain for Rockwall Heath with 10:22 to play in the ball game, trailing at 48-0.
Again, like I said, Greenville's got their reserves in on defense, and Rockwall. The game obviously is out of the reach for him, so I'm sure he'll just work on some base plays and just see if he can get some put a drive together and try to end the year good for themselves. 2nd
and 1 for Heath at their 33. Pitch goes to the wing back again. Bilski, I think it is, across the 40-yard line, and has a first down out to the 41-yard line for Rockwall Heath.
Yeah, Rockwall Heath, like I said, they're just they're running their base, just a little pitch sweep. Everybody's in the leading the parade and just kind of running in there and creating a wall of humanity where the running back can kind of pick his way through there. Tim Wood checks into the game now as an outside linebacker.
Earl was quick to remind me that Heath has only 13 points is all they scored in district play, 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. So much for my talk. Bilski goes over the right side at the 45 and then down to the 49-yard line in front of the Heath bench on the far side of the field.
Yeah, this is, like I said, Rockwall just runs a little toss sweep, just getting a lot of bodies out there, and Greenville's second bunch just hanging on, making some plays. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell who's making the tackles now for Greenville because being the reserves, I know who the starters are, so I can tell the position who it is. But like I said, this group's a little bit different, so it's hard to see who it is. But it looks like we got enough sportsmanlike.
Yeah, personal foul face mask charged against the Lions moves the ball down to the Greenville 37-yard line.
Okay, well, so pretty quickly, Rockwall's come down and getting pretty close in the scoring position.
Taken by the tailback.
Good job.
Who gets a couple of yards, maybe. They'll mark him at the 36-yard line, so a gain of a yard on the play by the tailback, Bilski.
Well,
wasn't Bilski on the carry?
I'm not.
What?
It was, what's his name? 36.
What's his name, Earl says.
What's his name? 36.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whoever 36 is, that's who's carrying the ball.
That's DeLeon Walker.
Okay, and Mr. Walker, he's a good-looking kid. I mean, he's a good-looking running back. He's a big, tall, angular.
He takes the handoff, comes to the near side at the 30. He's at the 25, the 20, the 15, and gets across the 10-yard line down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Heath.
Well, he's making a nice drive here against the Greenville Reserves, and Coach Cordell he's staying with the Greenville Reserves. He's going to just go ahead and let them play it out. If they score, fine. If they don't, it's no big deal. But I know a lot of coaches would put their first team defense back in here to keep them from scoring, but.
Why?
And I'm glad he's let these kids. Greenville kids might get a stop, and they had, they'll know that at least the coach had faith in them to let them in there, and let them play. And if they score, big deal. So what?
Heath with a 1st and goal at the Greenville 9-yard line. Pitch goes to the tailback, Bilski. Cuts back across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Rockwall Heath.
Well, good. I don't think I've ever said good for another team scoring a touchdown, but.
Well, that's only because Greenville's leading at 48-6.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they just now realized they scored a touchdown. Their cheerleaders were a little bit delayed.
And the band as well. They were just
they just now realized they scored a touchdown. I don't think I've ever seen that delayed reaction like that.
Wow.
They didn't know what to do.
They'll learn.
Yeah.
Jason Harris with a PAT. It is up and it is good. And Rockwall Heath is on the scoreboard trailing at 48-7 with 8:15 to play in the ball game. And we'll be back when Greenville Lions football continues in a moment. Bilski with a 9-yard touchdown run for Rockwall Heath. They used 6 plays to go 76 yards in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. That was aided by a 15-yard personal foul penalty against the Lions for face mask. And Greenville still leads at 48-7 with 8:15 to play in the season for the Greenville Lions.
Looks like we got lined up for an offside kick. I guess what the heck, might as well try.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Harris kicking off.
They're also well, I hadn't gone 10 yards yet. It's going to go out of bounds.
It hadn't gone 5 yards, barely, and goes out of bounds, and so they'll have to kick it again.
Can we take?
Okay. Coach Cordell's talking to him about it.
I think he's going to say we're going to take the ball.
And illegal procedure charged against.
I think we're going to decline it
against Heath. And at 8:15 to play here in the ball game, Greenville leading at 48-7. And I think they're taking a ball right where it went out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Heath. That's what I was thinking that they were doing, but I was waiting to be sure. Now I'm going to struggle a little bit because we have so many new kids in the ball game, which is a good thing. So Earl's got the binoculars up. Fowler from the shotgun gives it off to the left side and tackle at about the 46-yard line.
I'm not sure who the running back is.
Trey Nelson.
Okay. Number 14. That's
yeah.
Trey. Okay.
He was one of the honorary captains, one of the senior captains for the ball game.
And like I said, I see Byron Bell coming off, and like I said, I think they've got all reserves now on offense. Fowler's at quarterback, and Nelson at running back. And I see Josh Lawson out there, one of the tackles.
Lions having trouble lining up their offense. Now they're ready to go. 2nd and 11 for the Lions at the 46 of Heath. Handoff comes to the near side, and Trey Nelson is knocked down at the 46-yard line of Greenville for a loss on the play.
Well, just running like base offense, and look like Spigner's going to go in now. Spigner's going in now to play running back. Number 6 is coming in as a receiver. I'm not sure who number 6 is.
Number 6 is Reggie Freeman.
Okay, Reggie, yeah, plays safety for us.
Yeah.
And Henry Lewis just came off the field as a wide receiver. So, like I said, Coach Cordell just kind of freely mixing in reserves and letting these kids play, which, like I said, this is a good thing.
3rd and real long for the Lions. Here comes Spigner. Spins across the 45 and almost to the 40-yard line. Will not be enough for a first down. I'll put it at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, Nick really busted through there in a hurry. Like I say, he's so strong and powerful. He just rammed his way through, and we might go. Looks like he's going to go for it here. Eric Johnson's coming back into the ball game.
6:26 to play here in the ball game. Greenville leading at 48-7. Lions with 4th and 6 at the 41-yard line of Rockwall Heath. Fowler working at quarterback, and the play clock's down to 10 seconds, and they still don't have the play in yet.
Yeah, they might take a delay, back it up and punt it. We're not
down to 1 second, and then they call the timeout. Timeout called by the Lions. 5:58 to play here in the ball game, and Greenville leading at 48-7 over the Rockwall Heath Hawks. And the colors. I'm knowing about Mojo, the way that of course you and I would know them because we're that old, and I'm a lot older than you are. But Mojo for Odessa Permian, that's just there's an aura about the Odessa Permian football team.
I mean, that's Friday Night Lights. The whole book was written about that. Just like I said, the whole aura, persona, Mojo, all that stuff. That's just the personification of Texas high school football. And some people say it's not a sport; it's a religion. And I know for a while there, in the really the 70s through the 90s. And I don't know if they're as what they were during that 25 or 30 years. I'm not sure how good they are now, but there was just nothing like them back. Like I said, 20, 25, 30, 10 years ago. It's just unbelievable teams.
Yeah. Everybody believed they were magical.
I mean, they just you talk about intimidation. Oh my gosh. We kind of you have the Highland Parks and the Planos and the people with reputations around here, but then you go to West Texas, it's
Odessa Permian, that's all over the state.
Yeah, I mean,
Pearson McIntyre to punt, gets a little pooch kick off, nice spiral, bounces at the 13-yard line. goes out of bounds. Let's see, they'll mark it right at the 10. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Rockwall Heath at their 10-yard line, trailing Greenville 48-7 with 5:50 to play. And I noticed the Garners were standing up and cheering for their son Andy.
Yeah.
And she was at the pep rally today. She's a very sweet lady. She came up and said something to me after the pep rally that she had appreciated what I had shared. And I was strictly going off of feeling and emotion because of the day that it was. And they're just very sweet people, and they have been here the whole time.
Well, they've had, I think this is the third of 3 sons that have all played for Greenville Lions.
Here's a running play for Rockwall Heath that gets out close to the 14-yard line, gain of about 3 on the play.
You know, all their children plays, Coach Sedbury, and then for Coach Brooks, and now for Coach Cordell. So they've got to experience a lot of Greenville football and kind of some ups and downs. But, you know, Andy's the last of the 3 boys, I believe, and you know, he had a pretty good year last year, and then he worked very hard, and then he cracked his bone in his ankle.
Yeah.
And took him about 3/4 of the season to really get it healed up.
Draw play up the middle, off to the left side, gets out close to the 16-yard line with a really late flag thrown by the back judge.
I think that's going to be personal foul against one of the receivers from Rockwall. Greenville secondary, I don't know if that was Logan Sharkey or somebody was kind of coming up for the play very far behind, and just to try to take a cheap shot on him. Should be personal foul again.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, Rockwall Heath. It was a running play. It wasn't even a passing play. It was a draw.
Yeah, the play, you know, the infraction was about 15 yards away. Just, you know, ridiculous for trying to take a cheap shot when you're down 48-7. What are you trying to do, you know?
Well, that's how you learn.
Yeah.
And
but we were talking about
third down.
The Garners a while ago. But like I said, I'm glad to see Andy was able to come back the last several games and really make some significant contributions to the team.
And he's one of the many good kids.
Oh, yeah, great kid. Yeah, great kid.
Here comes the Hawks now. 3rd down at about their own 7-yard line.
Yeah, just
Hollingshead pitches it to Bilski, who breaks out across the 10, across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Not enough for a first down. They still need about 4 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be I guess it's going to be 4th.
Yeah, bring up 4th down.
4th and about 5. So it'd be interesting, Collie. If they don't get the first down, we've got the ball on about the 15-yard line or so. If they kick it, they got to be careful kicking in this wind. They haven't done as good a job as we have had kicking it into the wind. You know, Pearson McIntyre's really done a great job kicking that ball.
Yeah.
Right? And he had a nice punt a while ago, put him on about the 10-yard line. Really, like I said, kind of we used to call the coffin corner kick. And done a nice job with the kicking tonight. Pearson has. Looks like Rockwall's going to talk about it. But if I was their coach, I think I got to kick it out, Rich. I don't think I'm going to go for it.
And they called timeout just before the play clock ran out. 4:03 to play in the ball game. Greenville leading at 48-7 over Rockwall Heath, and they don't have a senior on the ball team.
No, they don't.
The Hawks don't.
They have mostly juniors. They've got a couple of sophomores up, and you know they've taken some hard knocks this year, and it's tough to build a team from the ground up, and usually the coach that is the one that's on the ground floor sometimes gets to stay, but usually he blazes the trail, then he usually has to step aside after a few seasons. That's what typically happens. I don't know what will happen with him, but anyway.
Well, how many coaches would step into this situation?
Not many.
When you know that you're going into a district like what Greenville is in and Heath is in,
yeah.
Who would want that job?
Well, you know, you'd be surprised, but you know the gentleman that has it. What?
$92,000.
Oh well, yeah.
Money's a small thing.
92,000 reasons. I guess.
Yeah.
I take it.
4th and 4 for Rockwall Heath. They are lined up to punt, and Harris is standing at the 3-yard line. Ball is held up in the air and goes out of bounds at about the 29-yard line as the ball backed up about 6 yards.
Yeah, you know you risk punting. You know that was about a 10 or 12-yard net gain on the punt, but it was better trying to go for it instead of being on the 20-yard line. We're going to be on about 30-yard line now.
Earl's about to give me that yardage. 13-yard punt.
Okay, I knew it was close to 10 yards. Again, Greenville comes out with the reserves on offense. Fowler is at quarterback. And like I said, I'd like to see Fowler throw the ball. And he's got, like I said, quick release. And it's like Coach Cordell's just going to be happy to just kind of grind this one out.
Eric Johnson running off the left side. Wow, got hit hard at the 30-yard line. It looked like he kind of gave up, was just going to trot out of bounds. Yeah. And the Hawks had not given up. They came firing through there.
Yeah, the Hawks still try to play hard. I mean, they physically can't match up with. They don't have near the athletes we have. Don't have any of the speed we have. Nothing close. And they've been outmatched physically all night.
Chris Valera is out wide of the near side, one of the seniors. And the officials are running some of the I think that may be part of the G-force that they're sending back up into the stands.
The G-force?
Ran off the field.
And I'm just guessing that may not be the G-force because they're not wearing T-shirts. They're all covered up with. But it was some of our kids were standing on the sidelines with
those kids right there
with the bullhorns, so they backed them up way over here.
Oh, okay.
Play coming to the near side across the 30, 25, down to the 20, and then down to the 16-yard line. That'll be enough for the first down for the Greenville Lions with 3:01 to play in the ball game, and the clock is rolling.
Let's see, that was
Eric Johnson on the carry.
Nice job, Eric. Really a nice game. Just is kind of the counterplay. Spigner's checked in now at running back, and he'll probably get some carries. Trey Turner's coming in as a running back. Spigner's checking back out.
1st and 10 for the Lions. At the 16-yard line, ball on the near hash mark, Lions moving left to right, leading at 48-7. Fowler at quarterback, hands off to Trey Nelson. He's at the 10, the 5, and down to the 4-yard line.
Trey looked pretty good going through there.
1st and goal for the Greenville Lions.
Trey's an interesting student at the high school. I'm glad to see him do this. I'm telling you, this is going to be a highlight of his career. If you know Trey, you know what this is going. He'll probably never quit talking about this ever.
Yeah, this is the big game.
This is going to make his whole high school career worth it right here. And I'm glad to see it.
They've had trouble keeping the pylons up because the wind has been blowing so hard, and the officials finally just gave up on it.
I think the wind's picked up.
Lions with 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, and a knee is taken by Fowler with 2:04 to play.
Yeah,
and the clock rolling.
Coach Cordell does not want to score again.
No,
because
and I appreciate his philosophy on that.
Yeah, like I said, we played well both sides of the ball. The reserves have got in there and have got some quality playing time, and they've gotten a score, and everybody's gotten a good sense and thrill of a victory tonight. So all these kids really should feel good about the contribution that they've made. And like I said, it looks like he's just going to get
Fowler's in the shotgun right now, waiting on the snap.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just going to do the same thing again.
Yeah. Takes the ball and kneels at the 15-yard line. Clock rolling with 1:20 to play in the ball game. 48-7, Greenville leading Rockwall Heath in the final game of the season for the Greenville Lions, as for Rockwall Heath as well. Fowler comes over to talk with Coach Cordell, and what do you want to do here on 3rd down?
I'm sure the same thing. Like I said, the clock's under a minute now, and enough's enough. Greenville's proved their point. They played a great game. We've had a great day of school. It was just a good day and a good evening for the Greenville Lions today.
From the shotgun again is Fowler. Takes the snap, waits. Now he puts a knee down, and one of the the ball was still alive, so why not? Jackie Hudson was coming after him.
Fowler kind of stood there, and everybody else was kind of standing around, and 88, defensive end from Rockwall, kind of started coming towards him, and looks like he's going to kind of give him a pretty hard shot, and Trey Nelson kind of stepped up and started protecting his quarterback a little bit.
Jace Nelson was the defensive player, and just go for it. Ball's still alive. It's ball game.
Looks like we're going to get out of here. We're going to get one more snap.
No, may not. Yeah, they will. They get this snap. The knee is down. There's 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and then that's ball game. And Greenville wins the final game of the season, 48-7, over Rockwall Heath here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. And it was it's going to be a good springboard for the Greenville Lions as they head into next year. And it's too bad that the Greenville Lions couldn't have gotten a 14-game season this year, because it's about 4 or 5 seasons before the Lions really started picking up. Now.